I want to talk about Charlie Kirk and Israel. This is sort of let's say, a compilation of everything that we know so far, and of course, my opinion about how to, let's say, address this from every single angle. And I think that I summarized that today on my X account. Remember that you can follow me with the link in the description of this video. Three things can be true at once. I remember that it was the quartering, Jeremy from the quartering, that he said two things can be true at once. I think that three things can be true at once. Number one, Charlie Kirk was full on pro-Israel on a personal level. We saw that so many times, especially on precisely in that clip that I have played more than a couple times in this channel. I have covered it, I analyzed it, and he said explicitly he loved Israel. He wanted Israel to win. He was very, let's say, adamant about that stance. Okay, he loved Israel, but he felt like he also had the right to criticize Israel's government as criticizing any other government. And not gonna lie, that was pretty much aligned with what Netanyahu says that Charlie wrote to him on that 7-page letter. So, I also made a video about that letter. That's another observation that I want to make. I see some of your comments saying, hey, in this, the whole Charlie Kirk, stuff, you forgot to make the analysis of Erica Kirk's speech or the letter from Netanyahu. No, I have everything. I literally have covered everything. You just have to scroll. I noticed a bit. Maybe I could create a playlist, but again, it will mess up all the design of my homepage. I just want to leave it that way. You can also search for anything. YouTube search is very good for finding my video analysis. You put whatever you want to find and put body language guy. YouTube is gonna find it for you. So I literally have covered everything about this case, everything. So we know that number one is pretty much real because at least even from Charlie's own mouth, he said that he was pro-Israel. Number two is also true. He grew increasingly frustrated with Jewish donors dropping out just because of the people he platformed on TPUSA, like Tucker or Candace Owens, or that he couldn't ask questions or dissent about how Netanyahu was handling the war. And that's the thing that is a video that I made yesterday about the chats that Candace Owens exposed a couple days ago. And yeah, before some of you jump, say that, oh, those texts were made up. No, already this, Charlie's best friend, I always forget his name. He already confirmed at TPUSA, they already confirmed that the chat is legit. And I told you that if it's a group chat, you cannot fake a group chat because you will have other people who are going to jump in immediately. If the chat is fake, that chat, it does not exist. It's much easier to fake a personal chat with somebody, but a group chat is rather, I would say, you're going to get sued. So this said, you do know that was the frustration that Charlie has. Jewish donors plays into all the stereotypes. We lost at $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker, and I'm thinking of inviting Candace and leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. In this case, he meant, trying to push the how to say this the pro-Israel cause from TPUSA, from the platform. I understand that so many conspiracies spark from that. Oh, he was like against, continuing this pro-Israel stance. On TPUSA as a whole, I think that as a bit of a strong reaction because, again, it's not like Tucker or Candace. That's all that they talk about. They talk about other topics as well. But I don't know. I think that so far I see that Charlie Kirk, again, was full-on pro-Israel on a personal level. He was frustrated with the Jewish donors that didn't allow TPUSA. It's like I always make the comparison, there's a huge gap and distance between that. It's like my channel. You usually come here. I want to think that you come here not only for the exotic accent, but also because of I try to be as unbiased as possible. When I am biased, because you know that I'm going full satire or parody, and I try to make it very clear about that. But if I try to build some credibility, and if the moment if I break that credibility, it's going to be bad for me. It's the same way with Charlie and TPUSA. He builds platform. He builds this huge organization in terms of credibility and being able to tell the truth. And at the same time, platform so many voices to reach a consensus. You cannot reach a consensus unless you platform dissenting voices and different opinions. That's what Charlie stood for, and that's why he made so many debates. That is 100% aligned with what he did in those debates. There's no discussion. So again, if there were donors who were upset of bringing people like Tucker or Candace, then the donors were against what made TPUSA huge in the first place, which was platforming voices and giving people the opportunity to express their opinions. And that's what Charlie did personally and as a company for so long. And so many people saying that, then Charlie was, because of the messages about the money and the $2 million a year. He was in just for the money. He was worried only for the money. Well, yes, if you cannot build something like TPUSA if you are not great at funding and looking for people to put money in it, being able to manage that money. You have to put your businessman hat and do that. That is something that you absolutely must do. So many people say that, that is bad, being focused on the money. But no, money is what allows you to make your platform grow bigger, reach more people, and allow everyone to have this huge discussions between so many voices at the same time. That was the idea behind TPUSA. So again, he was frustrated in what there was huge donors, especially Jewish donors who were just dropping out. By the way, they always mention is one huge Jewish donor. I say maybe it was my mistake saying Jewish donors, but again, let's assume there was one or two. And the third thing that could also be true at the same time after these two first points is that, yes, a crazy libtard murdered Charlie and he was turned in by his own father. And I know you have reached out to me and I'm really grateful. I haven't been able to answer all your emails, have been physically impossible for me, had to take the weekend off. I understand that is, it could be hard to grasp the idea that this guy did all by himself. I still have my doubts with the timeline, with all the plot holes in the FBI's investigation, which, by the way, I made a video about those plot holes as well. And, of course, the fact that Kash Patel brags about the FBI being so transparent, but no, we are still not at that level of transparency. So I can understand that you have doubts about this. I can understand you saying that this guy is just a patsy, that maybe he was, Charlie was killed by somebody else or by somebody, another organization, and maybe a country. You can say everything that you can have every sort of opinion that you want. You're open to express that in my comments, by the way. But there's something that you cannot deny as well. That there's also the possibility that it was actually Tyler Robinson who killed Charlie Kirk. We can think of the possibility that he wasn't, but but if we are putting our thinking hat, and there's the actual possibility that he did it. If he did it alone, okay, that is remarkable, in fact. But there is a possibility And we should not discard the possibility that not only that happened, which so much proof points in that direction, but what made that happen. And it's the thing that I'm not going to say that you're not allowed to question the Israel narrative. You are absolutely entitled and free to do so. But I think that distracts from the fact that it's this huge and very dark radicalization of the youth against the truth, about discussion, against having actual conversations, against having actual debates. And that should be addressed. And by the way, that's one of the things I want Kash Patel to go hard on that thing. And I hope that is happening, but the lack of updates on that regard is really concerning. You know that this guy basically updates every now and then, even with his, challenge coins. If you saw Kash Patel's challenge coins that are just awful, the design, but whatever. Again, I wanted to make that point. I want to just to be able to make my point that 3 things can be true at once, and they don't necessarily have to be at odds with each other. That is the point that I wanted to make with this video. But as usual, I want to know, what do you think about this in the comments? Just remember that I have a dedicated channel for political commentary, The Power Pundit. I'm going to leave you with the link on the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. Much love and bliss.